Titanic, the Artifact Exhibition in Orlando, Florida. Take her to see Mr. Murdoch. Today we're heading to Orlando, Florida to go to the Titanic Museum. Now I am aware that there are several Titanic museums out there. This is the first one I've been to. The organization that runs this Orlando museum also has a sister attraction located in Las Vegas. I know there's also a Titanic museum in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, as well as one in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and those museums are not affiliated with this one to my knowledge. I always try to approach these places with an open mind. Now keep in mind, I usually visit about 50 attractions every year. I only just recently started posting them on YouTube. So I've been to probably close to 1,000 of them, looking at my travel history. And I don't really expect to be surprised anymore. This particular museum completely blew me away. When you drive up on it, it just looks like a pretty standard shopping center. And it didn't look all that deep. So I expected, one room, maybe two. It is just way larger inside than you would ever expect. I was completely shocked. There are so many well-constructed replicas of parts of the ship, like the first class cabin and the veranda cafe. It's just an amazing experience if you're familiar with the Titanic folklore. The hardest part of making this particular video for me was trying to show you enough to get you interested in going, but not ruining the whole experience. So there are a couple sections of the museum where they don't allow photos, like the grand staircase, and I obviously respected those wishes, but there's still so much here to take in. You really need to experience this firsthand if you are a fan of the Titanic or the other White Star ships. So the admission cost for the Titanic Museum was $22, and that's pretty reasonable for an international drive attraction. By comparison, the Wax Museum down the street, the admission fee was $30. The Sea Life Aquarium was also $30, and Wonderworks, it's $35 to get in. So this is one of the less expensive options when it comes to museum, and probably the largest one that I saw. There's a lot of good value here, and especially if you love history museums. This one, almost everybody is aware of the Titanic story and has seen the movie and knows the locations and the pictures and the tragedy, and there's a lot of familiarity with the events because it's such a cultural icon. They had a lot of original artifacts from the Titanic wreck. They had a lot of props from the James Cameron movie. I realize there are a lot of people like Dr. Ballard, who discovered the wreck, that think it's sacrilege to bring up a lot of these artifacts. These things are in the process of disintegrating in the salt water. Most of these things were made out of iron, and is it better that they dissolve at the bottom of the ocean instead of being preserved for future generations? I'm gonna have to probably disagree with Dr. Ballard on this one, because this is a great memorial to all those who lost their lives on that tragedy. They even had a chunk of an iceberg on display, and no, it's not the same iceberg that sank the ship. This is known as Little Big Piece. This is a 2-ton chunk of the Titanic's hull that was brought up from the ocean. There's a 27-ton piece of the hull that's actually at the sister attraction in Las Vegas. So what's the bottom line for the Titanic Museum in Orlando? Well, for history buffs, this really is an incredible museum. You can spend hours looking at all the different exhibits and displays, and it's got authentic pieces of the wreck that have been rescued from the bottom of the ocean. Is this a great experience for a family? I'm not sure. I don't know if younger children would understand the nature of what is occurring in some of these exhibits. It's a self-guided walking tour, so younger children are definitely not going to like it. For adults and fans of the James Cameron movie, this place is the ultimate. I would highly recommend it for anyone who loved the movie or the Olympic-class ships in general. You definitely want to check this place out. Thanks for joining me for another episode. If you liked today's adventure, please like and subscribe.